don't teach, we don't train, we facilitate, and then we co-create knowledge.
Fidelity Bank, thank you very much for putting this together. Thank you for not being short-sighted in your vision.
We are Fidelity. We keep our word.
As a Fidelity customer, you can take your bank with you wherever you go on our mobile app and star 770 # instant banking platform. Open up a world of opportunities and banking from anywhere without data or internet connection using the code star 770 #. Need to transfer funds? No problem. Pay bills from the comfort of your home? No problem. Buy airtime and check data on the move. Account balance, account opening, and more. No problem. At home or on the go, our mobile app offers all the convenience of online banking, as well as being able to apply for fast loans and earn loyalty reward points. Fidelity Electronic Banking. Take your bank with you wherever you go. We are Fidelity. We keep our word.
Oh my God. I can't believe I lost my card. What's again? Oh no.
Relax. There's a solution to every problem. If you've lost your card, you can request another one. But first, you need to block your old card. Simply dial star 770 star 911 # to block your card. Know your code. Dial star 770 # today.
I have misplaced my phone.
Relax, don't panic. Sometimes terrible things happen, but you can protect yourself and your account by simply dialing star 770 star your phone number # to block or freeze your account.
Wow, thank you.
See, your money is safe. Know your code. Dial star 770 # today.
To wait this long. Really? I'm tired of waiting.
You know you can avoid this stress, right? To update your account details, simply dial star 770 star 02 #. Know your code. Dial star 770 star 02 # today.
We are from Fidelity Bank. Fidelity Bank has been operating in Lagos State as a credible stakeholder in the development community. We are partnering with the State Emergency Management Agency and the Shareholder Support Foundation to better the livelihood and lives of people. We are here today to distribute Fidelity food packs to members of the IDP camp that can sustain a family for a period.
We have come, we are staying, and we are so grateful to Fidelity Bank.
On behalf of His Excellency the Governor of the State, I want to especially thank Fidelity Bank for this amount of strategic partnerships they have with the state and our government.
Similar and the government of the state is grateful to Fidelity Bank for providing food to the IDP camps in Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Fidelity Bank.
we came together almost about 90% of the key stakeholders in the sports space to come and talk and explain their processes and systems.
When you look at the coming together of these powerful funds, Fidelity Bank, Lagos Business School, and the NNPC, I would wonder why you would like to come on this program if you're really serious about exporting political results.
For the past 3 years before you have been receiving notification about this program, I decided to attend. It just shows us that we are not really using what we have in that space.
What this program opened me up to, opened me to have a large mentality for exports, having practical people on board as facilitators.
I like the area of the personal experiences for people and also the side visits that we went to what the commodities exporters here.
Everything that we have taught in the classroom, you can see firsthand how it works. It's a practical thing.
We don't teach, we don't train, we facilitate, and then we co-create knowledge.
Thank you very much for putting this together. Thank you for not being short-sighted in your vision.
We are Fidelity. We keep our word.
As a Fidelity customer, you can take your bank with you wherever you go on our mobile app and star 770 hash instant banking platform. Open up a world of opportunities and banking from anywhere without data or internet connection using the code star 770 hash. Need to transfer funds? No problem. Pay bills from the comfort of your home? No problem. Buy airtime and check data on the move. Account balance, account opening, and more. No problem. At home or on the go, our mobile app offers all the convenience of online banking, as well as being able to apply for fast loans and earn loyalty reward points. Fidelity Electronic Banking. Take your bank with you wherever you go. We are Fidelity. We keep our word.
Oh my god. I can't believe I lost my cards. It's again. Oh no.
Relax. There's a solution to every problem. If you've lost your card, you can request another one. But first, you need to block your old card. Simply dial star 770 star 911 hash to block your card. Know your code. Dial star 770 hash today. Relax, don't panic. Sometimes terrible things happen, but you can protect yourself from your account by simply dialing star 770 star your phone number to block or freeze your account. Wow, thank you. See, your money is safe. Know your code. Dial star 770 hash today.
Do I have to wait this long? Really? I'm tired of waiting.
You know you can avoid this stress, right? To update your account details, simply dial star 770 star 02 hash. Know your code. Dial star 770 star 02 hash today.
And then we have many children who don't have eyes.
We are from Fidelity Bank. Fidelity Bank has been operating in Lagos State as a veritable stakeholder in the Lagos community. We are partnering with the State Emergency Management Agency and the Asset Support Foundation to better the livelihood and lives of people. We are here today to distribute Fidelity food packs to members of the IDP camp that can sustain a family for a period.
We have come, we are saying, and we are so grateful to Fidelity Bank.
On behalf of the excellent government of the state, I want to especially thank Fidelity Bank for this marvelous strategic partnership they have with the state and our government.
Similar and the government is grateful to Fidelity Bank for intervening by providing food to the IDP camps in Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Fidelity Bank.
We pull together almost about 90% of the key stakeholders in the export space to come and talk and explain their processes and systems.
When you look at the coming together of these three powerful banks, Fidelity Bank, Lagos Business School, and the NEPC, I would wonder why nobody would like to know what to do on this program if you're really serious about exporting quality produce and production.
For the past 3 years before you have been receiving notification about this program, I decided to attend. It just shows us that we are not really using what we have in that space.
What this program opened me up to, opened me to have a large mentality for export, having practical people on board as facilitators.
I like the area of the personal experiences for people and also the site visits that we went to for the commodities exporters here.
Everything that we've been taught in the classroom, you can see firsthand how it works. It's a practical thing.
We don't teach, we don't train, we facilitate, and then we co-create knowledge.
Thank you very much for putting this together. Thank you for not being short-sighted in your vision.
We are Fidelity. We keep our word.
As a Fidelity customer, you can take your bank with you wherever you go on our mobile app and star 770 # instant banking platform. Open up a world of opportunities and banking from anywhere without data or internet connection using the code star 770 #. Need to transfer funds? No problem. Pay bills from the comfort of your home? No problem. Buy airtime and check data on the move. Account balance, account opening, and more. No problem. At home or on the go, our mobile app offers all the convenience of online banking, as well as being able to apply for fast loans and earn loyalty reward points. Fidelity Electronic Banking. Take your bank with you wherever you go. We are Fidelity. We keep our word.
Oh my god. I can't believe I lost my cards. Again. Oh no.
Relax. There's a solution to every problem. If you've lost your card, you can request another one. But first, you need to block your old card. Simply dial *770*911# to block the card. Know your code. Dial *770#. Relax, don't Don't panic. Sometimes terrible things happen, but you can protect yourself from your account by simply dialing *770 star phone number to block or freeze your account.
Wow, thank you.
See, your money is safe. Know your code. Dial *770# today.
Do I have to wait this long? Really?
You know you can avoid this stress, right? To update your account details, simply dial *770 *02#. Know your code. Dial *770 *02# today.
And then we have many children who don't have that.
We have Fidelity Bank, Fidelity Bank, in the operation state, as a very good stakeholder in the development community. We are partnering with the state investment management agency and the Shareholder Foundation to better the livelihood and life of people. We are here today to distribute Fidelity food packs to members of the IDP camp that sustain a family for a period.
We have come, we are saying, and we are so grateful to Fidelity Bank.
On behalf of His Excellency the Governor of the State, I want to especially thank the Fidelity Bank for this amount of strategic partnership they have with the state and our government.
Similar and the government budgeted grateful to the Fidelity Bank for intervening by providing food to the IDP camps in Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Fidelity Bank.
We pull together almost about 90% of the key stakeholders in the export space to come and talk and explain their processes and systems.
When you look at the coming together of these three powerful funds, Fidelity Bank, Lagos Business Group, and the NAPC, I would wonder why you would like to know on this program if you're really serious about exporting quality producers.
For the past 3 years before you have been receiving notification about this program, I decided to attend. It just shows us that we are not really using what we have in that space.
What this program opened me up to, opened me to have a large mentality for export, having practical people on board as facilitators.
I like the area of the personal experiences for people and also the site visits that we went to for the commodities exporters.
Everything that we've been taught in the classroom, you can see firsthand how it works. It's a practical thing.
We don't teach, we don't train, we facilitate, and then we co-create knowledge.
Thank you very much for putting this together. Thank you for not being short-sighted in your vision.
We are Fidelity. We keep our word.
As a Fidelity customer, you can take your bank with you wherever you go on our mobile app and *770# instant banking platform. Open up a world of opportunities and banking from anywhere without data or internet connection using the code *770#. Need to transfer funds? No problem. Pay bills from the comfort of your home? No problem. Buy airtime and check data on the move. Account balance, account opening, and more. No problem. At home or on the go, our mobile app offers all the convenience of online banking, as well as being able to apply for fast loans and earn loyalty reward points. Fidelity Electronic Banking. Take your bank with you wherever you go. We are Fidelity. We keep our word.
Oh my God.
Recording in progress. Relax. There's a solution to every problem. If you've lost your card, you can request another one. But first, you need to block your old card. Simply dial *770*911# to block your card. Know your code. Dial *770# today. Relax, don't panic. Sometimes terrible things happen, but you can protect yourself and your account by simply dialing *770* phone number to block or freeze your account. Wow, thank you. See, your money is safe. Know your code. Dial *770# today. You know you can avoid this stress, right? To update your account details, simply dial *770*02#. Know your code. Dial *770*02# today.
We have Fidelity Bank, Fidelity Bank, and the operation state as a very good stakeholder in the development community. We are partnering with the State Investment Management Agency and the Shareholder Foundation to better the livelihood and lives of people. We are here today to distribute Fidelity food packs to members of the IDP camp that sustain a family for a period.
We have come, we are saying, and we are so grateful to Fidelity Bank.
On behalf of His Excellency of Fidelity, I want to especially thank Fidelity Bank for this milestone strategic partnership they have with the state and our government.
Similar and the government said grateful to Fidelity Bank for intervening by providing food to the IDP camps in Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Fidelity Bank.
Together, almost about 90% of the key stakeholders in the export space to come and talk and explain their processes and systems.
When you look at the coming together of these three powerful funds, Fidelity Bank, Lagos Business Group, and the NEPC, I would wonder why you would like to know on this program if you're really serious about exporting quality produce and manufacturing.
For the past 3 years before you have been receiving notification about this program, I decided to attend. It just shows us that we are not really using what we have in that space.
What this program opened me up to, opened me to have a large mentality for export, having practical people on board as facilitators.
I like the area of the personal experiences for people and also the site visits that we went to for the commodities exporters here.
Everything that we've been taught in the classroom, you can see firsthand how it works. It's a practical thing.
We don't teach, we don't train, we facilitate, and then we co-create knowledge.
Fidelity Bank, thank you very much for putting this together. Thank you for not being short-sighted in your vision.
We are Fidelity. We keep our word.
As a Fidelity customer, you can take your bank with you wherever you go on our mobile app and star 770 # instant banking platform. Open up a world of opportunities and banking from anywhere without data or internet connection using the code star 770 #. Need to transfer funds? No problem. Pay bills from the comfort of your home? No problem. Buy airtime and check data on the move. Account balance, account opening, and more. No problem. At home or on the go, our mobile app offers all the convenience of online banking, as well as being able to apply for fast loans and earn loyalty reward points. Fidelity Electronic Banking. Take your bank with you wherever you go. We are Fidelity. We keep our word.
Oh my god. I can't believe I lost my cards. Once again. Oh no.
Relax. There's a solution to every problem. If you've lost your card, you can request another one. But first, you need to block your old card. Simply dial *770*911# to block the card. Know your code. Dial *770# today.
Good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to the 36th Annual General Meeting of Fidelity Bank PLC. I hereby humbly call on Pastor Alex Adio to lead us in opening prayer.
Let us pray. Let us pray. Father, in the name of Jesus, can you allow me? Father, in the name of Jesus, everlasting Father, we thank you for this golden opportunity to come together again to check the records of our great bank, Fidelity Bank. Lord, we pray that at this meeting, you take absolute control in the name of Jesus. Father, we pray, Lord, that every comment shall be one that will translate to better for this company in the name of Jesus.
Lord, at the end of the whole exercise, your name alone shall be glorified. In Jesus' name I pray.
Amen. I will now call on the company secretary to confirm that we have a quorum.
Good morning, esteemed shareholders, and welcome once again. I have confirmed from the registrars, First Registrars and Investor Services Limited, that we received a total of 172 valid proxy forms for this annual general meeting. The proxy forms and shareholders in virtual attendance at today's meeting jointly hold 10,955,979,976,537 shares, which represents 34.25% of the company's paid-up share capital. Consequently, I hereby confirm to the chairman that the quorum has been formed.
I hereby declare that the quorum has been found in accordance with Article 62(1) of the Articles of Association of the company. Kindly permit me to deal with some preliminary matters before we proceed to the business of the day. The Business Facilitation Act, BFA 2022, was signed into law on February 14, 2022. The main objective of the BFA is to improve ease of doing business in Nigeria by removing administrative bottlenecks in the processes of the federal government ministries, departments, and agencies, MDAs, while ensuring increased transparency, efficiency, productivity, and collaboration between MDAs. The Act seeks to achieve its principal objectives by introducing transparency disclosure requirements in the MDA's processes, introducing the concept of one government and amending 21 existing business-related laws, including the Companies and Allied Matters Act, CAMA 2020. Specifically, Section 11 of the Business Facilitation Act 2022 amended Section 242 of the CAMA 2020 to enable public companies hold their general meetings electronically. Accordingly, this general meeting is being held electronically in accordance with the law. I am pleased to inform you that the proceedings are being live streamed on YouTube and Facebook to enable all shareholders and stakeholders to follow the meeting from their respective locations. Your bank is a responsible corporate citizen and concerned with the safety of everyone attending this virtual meeting. We are aware that many of you are joining the meeting from different parts of the world and enjoying you to view your surroundings and take note of the emergency exits at your respective locations. I will now call on our media team to present the HSC briefing for the guidance of all.
Welcome to Fidelity Bank PLC, and thank you for joining this virtual meeting. While we have taken digital safety precautions to guarantee a safe meeting, it's important to observe the following for a successful virtual meeting. 1. Emergency exits. Please take a few moments to identify the emergency exits at your location. In the event of a fire or other emergency, remain calm. Proceed to the exit nearest to you and leave the building. Do not ignore the fire alarm, even if your unit is fire drill. Exit the building immediately and comply with the instructions of the security personnel to ensure orderly evacuation. 2. Be prepared and on time. Check that your devices are charged and the internet connection is working. Ensure you have a reliable charging source and alternate internet connection if possible. Do not overload electrical outlets and keep your devices free from contact with witnesses. 3. Stay digitally safe. Secure your sensitive data and avoid pop-up browsers or internet. Ensure your devices are password protected and remember to log out of the meeting when you're done. 4. Keep it professional. Dress appropriately for video calls and join the meeting from a visual environment. Remember to check posture and sit up straight. Mute your microphone when you're not speaking and use a headphone if in a public place. Use the raise hand icon if you wish to speak and make a comment when recognized by the chair. 5. Stay energized. Long meetings can wear you out. Have some water, juice, or cup nearby to keep you hydrated and satisfied by refreshments. Do not forget to turn off your mic and video if you want to nip on something. 6. Take breaks. A 10-minute break every 2 hours is recommended. Remember to stand, stretch, and engage in mild activity during break periods as stipulated by the moderator. 7. General health and safety. Here are a few other safety tips to keep in mind. Please comply with guidelines issued periodically by health authorities for prevention and spread of communicable diseases. Memorize the emergency number and location. The toll-free national emergency number of Nigeria is 1112. Welcome again to Fidelity Bank PLC. We wish you a very productive meeting.
I can confirm that all the directors of your company are present at this meeting. Some of them are here with us in the meeting room, while others are joining us virtually. Before I introduce them, I would like to take a few minutes to update you on the changes that occurred on the board since the 35th Annual General Meeting, which held on May 23, 2023. Firstly, Mr. Hassan Imam, Executive Director, retired from the board on January 10, 2024. The board wishes to use this medium to express sincere appreciation to Mr. Hassan Imam for 26 years, 26 of meritorious service to the company. His contributions during his tenure on the board, and wish him the best in his future endeavors. Mr. Abolore Sholebo was appointed as Executive Director with oversight responsibility for the bank's corporate banking directorate. His appointment was in accordance with the bank's board appointment and director selection criteria policy and was approved by the Central Bank of Nigeria with effect from February 1, 2024. He brings to the board extensive financial services and general management experience in corporate, investment, commercial, retail, and transaction banking, enterprise-wide risk management, corporate strategy, and consulting in Nigeria and the United Kingdom. Mr. Abolore will be presented for election at this meeting. I will now introduce the Board of Directors and the Company Secretary. Please note that the pictures will be displayed on the screen as they are introduced. Mr. Mustafa Chikobi, Chairman Board of Directors. Dr. Nneka Onyali Ikpe, Managing Director and Chief Group Chief Executive Officer of Fidelity Bank. Mr. Chidi Agbapu, Non-Executive Director. Alhaji Issa Mohammed Inua, Independent Non-Executive Director. Engineer Henry Obi, Independent Non-Executive Director. Mrs. Amaka Onwalo, Non-Executive Director. Chief Nelson Simweke, Non-Executive Director. Mr. Chinedu Okeke, Non-Executive Director. Mrs. Morenike Bameke, Independent Non-Executive Director. Mr. Kevin Woke, Executive Director and Chief Risk Officer. Dr. Ken Opara, Executive Director, Lagos and Southwest. Mr. Stanley Amuchie, Executive Director, Chief Operations and Information Officer. Mrs. Pamela Shodipo, Executive Director, South. Mr. Abolore Sholebo, Executive Director, Corporate Banking Directorate. Mrs. Ezinwa Unyoboje, Company Secretary. I would like to acknowledge the presence of the representatives of our regulators who are present at this meeting. The Central Bank of Nigeria, represented by Mr. Oluwatoyin Ahmed Edu and Mr. Ebenezer Ogra, you're welcome. The Nigeria Exchange Group, represented by Mr. Bonaventure Onwuji, you're also welcome. Nigerian Deposit Insurance Company, NDIC, represented by Mr. Abbas Aliyu Abbas and Mr. Effiong Bassi. Welcome. Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria, represented by Mrs. Comfort Osundu and Mr. Ifechude Chidi. Tough name. You're welcome. Number 5, Securities and Exchange Commission, represented by Mr. Shehu Sani Maikaji. I would also like to recognize the representatives of our external auditors, Deloitte and Touche, represented by Mr. Fatai Falari, Mrs. Yetunde Odetayo, and Mrs. Nike Faturoti. The Registrar, First Registrars and Investor Services Limited, represented by Mr. Olubumi Untoye and Mr. Oladipo Oladisi. The Independent External Consultants on the Annual Board Appraisal, KPMG Advisory Services, represented by Mr. Olumide Olayinka and Ms. Oluwatitomi Adeboyeku. Permit me also to introduce the members of the Statutory Audit Committee. Chief Frank Ong, Chairman, Statutory Audit Committee and Shareholder. Dr. Christian Winia, Shareholder. Mr. Innocent Moore, Shareholder. Chief Nelson Sinweke, Non-Executive Director, Fidelity Bank. And Mrs. Moronke Bameke, Independent Non-Executive Director, Fidelity Bank. Having completed the preliminary matter, we will now proceed to the formal business of the day by calling on the Company Secretary to read the notice of the 36th Annual General Meeting.
Thank you, sir. Notice of 36th Annual General Meeting. Notice is hereby given that the 36th Annual General Meeting of members of Fidelity Bank PLC will hold virtually at 10 a.m. on Thursday, May 16, 2024, to transact the following business. Ordinary business, to receive the audited financial statements for the year ended December 31, 2023, and the reports of the directors, external auditors, and audit committee thereon. 2, to declare a final dividend. 3, to elect the following director who was appointed since the last annual general meeting, Mr. Abolore Sholebo, Executive Director. 4, to re-elect the following directors retiring by rotation. 1, Mr. Chinedu Okeke, Non-Executive Director. 2, Mrs. Moronke Bameke, Independent Non-Executive Director. Item 5, to authorize the directors to fix the remuneration of external auditors 2024. Item 6, to disclose the remuneration of the managers of the company. Item 7, to elect members of the Statutory Audit Committee. Special business, to consider and, if thought fit, pass the following as an ordinary resolution: that the director's remuneration for the financial year ending December 31, 2024, and for succeeding years until reviewed by the company at an annual general meeting, be and is hereby fixed at 40 million for each non-executive director. And 60 million for the chairman of the board of directors. Dated the 22nd day of April 2024, by order of the board. Thank you. I will crave your indulgence to refer you to the notes accompanying the notice. Thank you.
I wish to inform you that the Register of Directors Holdings and other statutory registrars are available for inspection in compliance with Section 301 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020. I now draw your attention to the Chairman's statement, which is contained on pages 19 and 20 of the 2023 Annual Report and Accounts. I crave your kind indulgence to waive the reading of this report, which was earlier circulated to shareholders. However, please permit me to make a few comments on our performance in 2023. Specifically, your company attained a very important landmark in 2023 as we exceeded the 100 billion profit before tax mark for the first time in our history. We have consistently surpassed industry benchmarks on crucial metrics such as deposit size, risk asset creation, and profit before tax, demonstrating our ability to deliver and continue to deliver exceptional results. Reflecting on our journey over the years, I'm delighted with our upward trajectory and the successes we have recorded. We have transitioned from a modest player in the Nigerian finance industry to a prominent and respected brand, proving our resilience and growth potential. Our story is indeed a testament to the power of a well-crafted strategy. We are also very excited about the future and the opportunities in our market. As you know, the Central Bank of Nigeria recently announced an upward review of the capital requirements for banks. Be assured that we intend to raise additional regulatory capital to comply with the minimum requirements for holding an international banking license. You may recall that at the extraordinary general meeting on August 11, 2023, we received the approval to undertake a capital raising exercise by way of public offer for 10 billion ordinary shares and rights of 3.2 billion shares. We are at an advanced stage in the regulatory approval process and shall be commencing the capital raise very soon. The banking industry is evolving, but we have laid the foundation for strong and sustainable growth. We are very pleased with our performance trajectory, which would not have been possible without your support. On behalf of the board, management, and staff of Fidelity Bank PLC, I thank all our esteemed customers, shareholders, and stakeholders for the unwavering loyalty and support we have received over the years. I must commend our executive management team, led by our indefatigable MD/CEO, Dr. Nneka Onyalikwe, as well as our staff, for their hard work and steadfastness in a highly competitive business environment. Finally, I would love to thank my colleagues on board for continued commitment to the disciplined execution of our strategy as we look forward to the future with optimism and hope. Please note that the Managing Director's report and the report of the Director are on pages 25 to 27 and 44 to 57, respectively, of the annual report and accounts. Shareholders are encouraged and enjoined to read these reports for more insight into the bank's activities during the year. First order of business. We will now proceed to the first item on the agenda, which is to lay before the members the audited financial statements for the year ended December 31, 2023, and the report of the directors, external auditors, audit committee, and an independent board appraisal consultants. In accordance with the provisions of Section 377 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, I hereby lay before the members the audited financial statements and the report of the directors, external auditors, audit committee, and independent board appraisal consultants for the financial year ended December 31, 2023. I will now respectfully call on Mrs. Utility Odetayo, the representative of the auditors, Deloitte and Touche, to present the auditor's report for the financial year ended December 31, 2023.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning once again to distinguished shareholders and members of the board. The audit opinion can find it on pages 136 to 141. And I would like to crave your indulgence to take the first 3 paragraphs and the last paragraph. Independent auditors report to members of Fidelity Bank, PLC. We have audited the consolidated and separate financial statement of Fidelity Bank, PLC and its subsidiary, set out on pages 45 to 158, which comprise the consolidated and separate statement of financial position as of 31 December 2023, and the consolidated and separate financial statements of profit or loss and other comprehensive income, the consolidated and separate statement of changes in equity, and the consolidated and separate statement of cash flows for the year then ended. The notes to the consolidated and separate financial statements, including a summary of material accounting policy information. In our opinion, the consolidated and separate financial statement gives a true and fair view of the consolidated and separate financial position of Fidelity Bank as of 31st December 2023, its consolidated and separate financial performance, and consolidated and separate cash flows for the year then ended, in accordance with International Financial Reporting Standard, the requirements of the Company and Allied Matters Act 2020, Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria, Amendment Act 2023. Basis for opinion. We conducted our audit in accordance with international standards on auditing. Our responsibility under those standards are further described in the auditor's responsibility for the audit of consolidated and separate financial statements section of our report. We are independent of the group and the company in accordance with the requirements of the International Ethics Standards Board for Accountants, International Code of Ethics for Professional Accountants, including International Independent Standards, consolidated and separate financial statements in Nigeria. We have fulfilled our other ethical responsibility in accordance with ISBA Code and other ethical requirements that are relevant to our audit of consolidated and separate financial statements in Nigeria. We believe that the audit evidence we have obtained is sufficient and appropriate to provide a basis for our opinion. Page 141, report on other legal and regulatory requirements. In accordance with the 5th schedule of the Companies and Allied Matters Act, we expressly state that 1, we have obtained all the information and explanation which to the best of our knowledge and belief were necessary for the purpose of our audit. 2, the group and the company have kept proper books of accounts so as appears from our examination of those books. 3, the group and the company's financial position and its statements of profit or loss and other comprehensive income are in agreement with the books of accounts and returns. In compliance with the Banks and Other Financial Institutions Acts, BOFIA 2020, and circulars issued by the Central Bank of Nigeria, we confirm that 1, related party transactions and balances are disclosed in Note 38 of the Consolidated and Separate Financial Statements in compliance with the Central Bank of Nigeria Circular BSD/1/2004. 2, returns on customers' complaints are disclosed in Notes 41.2 to the Consolidated and Separate Financial Statements in compliance with Central Banks of Nigeria Circular PDR/DIR/CIR/01/20. 3. As stated in notes 41.1 to the consolidated and separate financial statement, the bank paid penalties for contravention of certain sections of the Bank and Other Financial Institutions Act and relevant Central Banks of Nigeria circular during the year ended 31st December 2023. And this report is signed on behalf of Deloitte and Touche on 12th April 2024 by my humble self. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Odetayo. I will now call on the Chairman of the Statutory Audit Committee, Chief Frank Onwu, to present the committee's report on page 58 of the annual report and accounts.
I was advised by the media consultants to read this sitting down. So I don't know, it's is that in order?
Yeah, that's appropriate. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm reading this report. This is the report, from the Statutory Audit Committee for the year ended 31st December 2023 to members of Fidelity Bank. In compliance with Section 404/7 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, we reviewed the scope and planning of the audit requirements and found them adequate. Reviewed the financial statements for the year ended 31st December 2023 and are satisfied with the explanations obtained. Reviewed the external auditor's management report for the year ended 31st December 2023 and are satisfied that management is taking appropriate steps to address the issues raised. Ascertained that the bank has complied with the provisions of Central Bank of Nigeria Circular BSD 12004, dated February 18, 2004, on disclosure of insider credits in the financial statements of banks. In addition, related party transactions and balances have been disclosed in the notes to the financial statements for the year ended 31st December 2023, in accordance with the prescribed CBN format. Ascertained that the accounting and reporting policies of the company for the year ended 31st December 2023 are in accordance with legal requirements and agreed ethical practices. The external auditors confirmed having received full cooperation from the company's management and that the scope of their work was not restricted in any way. Signed by myself, Chief Frank Onwu, Chairman Audit Committee. Members of the Statutory Audit Committee are Chief Frank Onwu, Chairman, Dr. Christian Winia, Member, Shareholder, Mr. Innocent Moore, Member, Shareholder, Chief Nelson Nweke, Member, Director, Mrs. Moronuke Bameke, Member, Director. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chief. In line with the provisions of the Central Bank of Nigeria's Code of Corporate Governance for Banks and Discount Houses in Nigeria, which stipulates that an independent board appraisal exercise should be conducted in each financial year, and that the report of the appraisal should be presented at the annual general meeting. KPMG Advisory Services was appointed to conduct the board appraisal for the year ended December 31, 2023. I will now respectfully call on the representative of KPMG Advisory Services, Mr. Olumide Olayinka, to present the board appraisal report for the 2023 financial year, which is on page 132 of the annual report and accounts.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And in line with the guidance, I'm also going to read this sitting down. I hope that's in order, Mr. Chairman.
That's in order. Thank you.
Yeah. The report of the independent consultant on the appraisal of the board of directors of Fidelity Bank PLC for the year ended 31st December 2023. In compliance with the guidance of Section 10.1 of the Central Bank of Nigeria Code of Corporate Guidelines for Commercial, Merchant and Non-Interest and Payment Services Bank in Nigeria, and Section 14.1 of the Nigerian Code of Corporate Governance 2018, Fidelity Bank engaged KPMG Advisory Services to carry out an appraisal of the Board of Directors for the year ended 31st December 2023. The CBN guidelines mandate an annual appraisal of the board with specific focus on the board structure and composition, responsibilities, processes, and relationships. We have performed the procedures agreed with Fidelity Bank in respect of the appraisal of the board in accordance with the provisions of the CBN guidelines and the NCCG code. These procedures, which are limited in scope but sufficient for the board objectives in line with the CBN guidelines and the NCCG, are different in scope from an external audit. Consequently, no opinion is expressed by us on the activities reported upon. Our approach to the appraisal of the board involved a review of the bank's board papers and minutes, key corporate governance structures, policies, and practices. This includes the review of the corporate governance framework and representations obtained from questionnaires and interviews with members of the board and senior management. On the basis of our review, the bank's corporate governance practices are largely in compliance with the key provisions of the CBN guidelines and the NCC code. Specific recommendations for further improving the bank's governance practices have been articulated and included in our detailed report to the board. This includes a recommendation on succession planning. This report was signed by me on the 12th of April 2024. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. We will now take your questions and comments on the annual report and audited accounts for the 2023 financial year. Please type your questions in the comment box or use the raise hand icon. To ensure the session is orderly, Chairman of the meeting will invite stakeholders to make their comments in turn. The media team will unmute shareholders who have been recognized by the chairman. Please state your name for the record when recognized by the chairman. Please keep your comments brief and avoid repetition so other shareholders can have the opportunity to ask questions. I will start with Chief Boniface Okezie. Chief Okezie, please. Media team, please unmute Chief Okezie.
Chairman, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
How are you, sir?
All right.
And the board of directors, I greet all of you. Chairman, this is not the best because last year we complained about this virtual meeting. Fidelity Bank have come of age that we cannot continue to hold this meeting virtual. Our AGM should be seen as a carnival to appreciate the board management of the good performance. It is not, to be held at the boardroom. The chairman and the board can hold their meeting virtual. It's allowed. Yes, the law allows you to hold this virtual electronically. But in any times AGM like this, technology is not friendly in a meeting like this. Either it will be echoing or people cannot bring you in to interject when the chairman was making statement. Chairman said lay. The report is to receive. It's not to lay. It's to receive. That was written here boldly. The company secretary can confirm that. It's to receive. And then when the auditor were reading their report, auditor just stood up. The chairman of audit committee stand that the media is not the one he reporting to. It's reporting to shareholders. The KPMG reading their report. That report is meant for shareholders. And the man seated. The woman stood to read her report. I want to commend the Deloitte, you know. A woman, for that matter, should have been seated to read that report, but she stood because she's addressing shareholders, not the chairman alone at that meeting. So this is my observation, Mr. Chairman. I want to thank the board, the management, for this laudable result we're considering today. Even though there's challenges in this report by the CBN not allowing you, the board, to even pay the higher dividend at least ₦1, because we paid the 25 kobo interim this year, and the final was 60 kobo. At least that 75 kobo should have been approved, given to us, so that, you know, we make it a round figure of ₦1 for the financial year we're considering. But unfortunately, you have constrained. You couldn't do much otherwise. I applaud this report that we had 85 kobo payable dividend for the year, and that's a good one. That clearly shows that Fidelity is growing leap and bound. I want to commend you for this report, you know. Mr. Chairman, I'm also recommending that on interim, you may consider to pay not 50 kobo interim dividend this year, notwithstanding that we're also going to the market to raise funds. Mr. Chairman, having said that, I want to also commend the board for the way you have conducted the affair of this company. If you look at page 74, attendance of corporate governance, attendance at board meetings and committees. That is excellent. I want to commend all the board directors for the every way you have given time to attend meetings of the company, and all the subcommittees. I want to commend them, because that without, you know, you attending the meeting promptly, you can't give all these good results. I want to commend the management led by Dr. Neka Onyalibe and her team. She have done excellent for this wonderful result. I want to commend her. It's a collective achievement. All the executive directors and the entire management and workforce of Fidelity Bank, yes, we keep our word. You indeed have kept your word. I want to commend you for this talent performance for this financial year. Mr. Chairman, I have sent in questions. I don't want to bore you with a lot of questions today. I've sent in already, and which should also be read. But Mr. Chairman, on the loan insider related, the loan credited to former directors, we must pursue them if there's some of them are still alive to pay up these loans instead of carrying this balance sheet year in, year out, so that, you know, we don't carry this non-performing loans that are attributed to former directors. And we must pursue them to recover this loan. That is very necessary. You know, the current ones are performing, the current directors are performing. I applaud them for that. You know, there's no law forbidding director not to borrow. But when you borrow, you must repay back as and when due. That's the only way the bank can grow its balance sheet and continue to reward investors. So, Chairman, and all, you know, the indices you attend here, the bank is growing rapidly. I have so love it, you know. I want to applaud you. Your leadership have increased the stakeholders take-home pay in terms of returns and dividend. In terms of capital appreciation, we can see it, you know. We can see what's happening, that the bank have done very well. Seamless services in all the branches. I want to also appeal that we should look also, because I clamor on this year in, year out. In Southeast, we need to increase our branches. Mr. Chairman, this bank belongs to us. The bank has a taproot. It has a route where it's coming from. And we cannot be shortchanged in terms of branch network. Please take a second look and increase, especially in Umuahia, and Aba. We need more branches of the Fidelity Bank so that people can patronize, not, you know, defranchising them by going to one city or the other to carry out their banking transaction. Mr. Chairman, that's end my comment. I want to applaud that this year shall be better if CBN allow you and ANCOM, which you are paying heavily, if they allow you to operate and pay higher dividend, the bank will go places. And I want to also congratulate in advance that we should be able to look at right issue, come at the right time. Let the regulators approve so that we can hit the market as soon as possible. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for the opportunity given to me.
Thank you for your support. Your suggestions and criticisms are welcome. We will try to do better. We will discuss having the next AGM physically, but again, it's a very big cooperative effort. So I have to discuss with management and see whether we can address that issue. I understand what you're saying about physical meeting. It just feels better. You know, we that are old, we don't, all this new technology stuff, we're not so comfortable with it. We like to see each other and relate. Well,
Exactly.
Thank you for your comments, and they're well received. Can I call on Mrs. Bisi Bakari to make any comments, please? Please unmute Mrs.
Hello.
Bisi Bakari.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman. Hello. Can you hear me?
I can hear you clearly, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. All protocol duly observed. My name once again is Mrs. Bisi Bakari. I'm not going to take much of your time because I've earlier sent my questions through the company secretary. First and foremost, before I start my comment, for me, I want to really commend and appreciate the entire board and management of Fidelity Bank PLC for having today's meetings by virtual. I believe changes is inevitable, but we shareholders, we don't want to believe that. Reason why I'm saying that, for instance, today we are having 3 annual general meetings. Even Mr. Okeze that kick against virtual meeting. I didn't be today's meeting is physical, I mean Fidelity. It won't be at IBTC AGM at the same time. So for me, I really appreciate our bank, Fidelity Bank, for having this meeting virtual. With your phone, you can join the 2 meetings successfully. Even when you don't have other meetings, you can join meetings in your office. Immediately you are through, you do other things. At times, AGM takes the whole day from us, and it doesn't worth it. So for me, I really appreciate us for that. Having said that, I appreciate our bank for the total dividend of 85 kobo. We paid 25 kobo dividend, first in the history of our bank. This is highly commendable, and I hope the trend will continue in many years to come. Having said that, our bank, with grand stride, continually showcases leadership with continuous impressive results, surpassing previous financial year on year in the last 5 years. This is also highly commendable. And also, despite various challenges and economic uncertainty and other unforeseen occurrences, our bank weathered the storm with strong headwinds performance. Kudos to the entire board management and staff of our bank. Thirdly, our financial performance on page 10, 19, 26, and 145. Our gross earnings grew by grew by 66.9% from 337 billion to 555.8 billion in 2023. Profit before tax rose by 131.5% from 99.5 billion in 2022 to 124.2 billion, while profits after tax grew by 112.9% to close at 99.45 billion, compared to 46.7 billion in 2022. Our deposit grew by 56% from 2.6 trillion in 2022 to 3.1 billion this year. The one that amazed me most is our total assets that grew by 56% from 3.9 trillion to 6.2 trillion. Mr. Chairman, this is highly commendable, and I really commend our bank for this. Furthermore, I want to ask from the entire board that how sustainable is the 2023 performance in many years to come? I would like to know that as an investor. Briefly, I want to talk on page 85, where we have fraud and forgeries. Mr. Chairman, I want to ask that why huge amounts of 2.1 billion loss to fraud in 2023 compared to 237.2 million in 2022. This is very huge. I want management to look at this so that in future we won't have this. And also, I want us to look into some of the loopholes in our control system. Page 131, reports on customers' complaints. I think that is my last comment. Page 131. Page 131, Mr. Chairman, reports on customers' complaints. A lot needs to be done in this regard, Mr. Chairman. We have huge pending, unresolved, escalated to CBN, and unresolved complaints still pending. This is enormous, Mr. Chairman. Let us work harder to resolve and bring them to the nearest minimum. Page 295, note 37.3, claims and litigation. Our bank estimates a potential loss of 1.886 billion. This is enormous, Mr. Chairman. I want us to look at it. Then the question I have on this is that what potential reputational risk does our bank anticipate as a result of this? And how does we plan to address them? Page 305, note 41.1, compliance with banking. This amount paying on fines and penalties is massive, Mr. Chairman, 100.7 million. I believe that when fines and penalties reach such a substantial amount, it is crucial to take proactive steps to avoid them. This is outrageous, Mr. Chairman, and I want the management to look at that. Once again, I want to thank you for the opportunity given to me. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you, ma. Chief Okezi, you can see that we old people, we like physical, but the younger people, they like digital. So we have to find a balance. I will talk about the question of sustainability, and I'll turn it over to the MD to address fraud, complaints, and legal issues. Our strategy has been to grow in a sustainable manner. We are not in a hurry to take unnecessary risks. You will not see us declare huge unusual gains or huge unusual losses. We want a business that grows sustainably so that 10 years from now, we are double where we are, we're making more money, we're paying more dividends. So our strategy is to do banking in a sustainable manner, and we are fairly certain that given we're a public company, we can't say things that are not public information, but the first quarter numbers were very good, and we believe that we can sustain the first quarter numbers and stay on the path we're on. On the issue of fraud, the complaints, and legal, I'll please ask the MD to respond.
Thank you very much for attending this AGM, and thank you for all the appreciation of the hard work we have put in. Thank you very much. On behalf of my team and myself, we want to appreciate you and say thank you. On the issue of the fraud, it's more or less a global problem. It has become an industry concern. And what we can say today is that the industry has done a lot to ensure that they curtail this trend. It's a problem everybody knows about. The fraudsters are everywhere, cybercrime. But it's an area that even the government is paying attention. So we believe that as an ecosystem, the banking industry is trying to contain it, because you can't contain this alone as a bank. It has to be at the center, which is what the government is trying to do now. Because they will hit you, they'll go there, they're just all over the whole place. So everything is being done within to ensure that our processes are world class. We've done put in a lot of processes to ensure that there are no loopholes, like you mentioned, madam. We've done all what we're supposed to do in-house. But I can tell you that this problem is so frustrating that it keeps changing color and nature on a daily basis. So you can only trap so much. But we believe we've done a lot and enough in-house to contain it. And the government has even stepped in to help at the center, so that the ecosystem will be protected. The whole financial institutions will be protected. Thank you. Okay, the complaints that you mentioned, Ma, we are doing what we should do. We have also set up a team that all they're doing is respond to the complaints. We believe that the first quarter reports will be much better than that of last year, and the complaints are being contained. Yeah, thank you. Are being responded to sufficiently now. Okay, yeah, the legal issues, any time you do a business, the legal issues will come up every now and then. And we're in 25, like I always tell them, the regulators, we're in 250 locations. So there are 250 problems, one for each location. So all we do is to continue to defend the franchise, continue to defend and continue to bring lawyers that will help us. People just like to go to court sometimes, but I can tell you that we're containing the reputational damage. We haven't seen anything that will consider reputational damage, and we are working very hard to ensure that we protect the bank with very suitable and very good lawyers. Thank you.
Thank you, MD. Thank you, MD. Let me just address the issue of insider-related loans. A report just came out recently, I think Nairametrics, that said Fidelity was the most improved bank in the country in issues of insider-related loans. Like I told this annual general meeting, I as chairman will never take a loan from Fidelity Bank. I discourage all directors from taking loans from Fidelity Bank, all current directors. If the loan is so good, then go to another bank and get it. There's really no reason for Fidelity directors to be getting loans from Fidelity. But I can't stop it except by example, and I pledge to you that as long as I'm chairman, I will not take a kobo from Fidelity Bank, because it's just the kind of, we don't want to be a bank that we have insider-related problems. So that's my pledge to you, and I think that most of the directors have honored that pledge.
Just to mention, Chairman.
Go ahead.
The huge figures we're seeing before now on the insider-related loans were not necessarily loans to the directors. They were more or less like loans to companies that they were directors, or they have even stopped being directors. For example, Dangote and what's the other one? So, and since they left the board of those banks, they've left Fidelity, those loans have also left our books. That is what accounts for the major reduction in our loans. They have left the bank as directors. They are still directors in those companies, but it will not read as insider related for us anymore. So we've sorted those ones out. That's why you see a very significant decline in the figures. Thank you.
Yeah, yes. May I call on Mr. Tunde Badmus for his comments, please?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Can you hear me, sir?
We can hear you loud and
Hello.
clear. We can hear you loud and clear, Mr. Tunde Badmus.
Thank you for the privilege of inviting me to participate. And I will join voices with the earlier speakers to congratulate the board. As led by you, an exceptionally leader, you are a national figure that most of us, we've been hearing of you for long, and we are happy to be associated with you to witness your performance. May God give you more valuable years to serve the nation in better capacities. Having said that, Fidelity Bank has been keeping to our name, Fidel. They keep to
show, if possible, there should be investors forum. The annual report we have with us in the last 21 days is just historical. But what is important is the way you are running the bank. We'll give you our support and we always make sure what you need from us, we give it to you. Having said that, my chairman, I want to find out, since I know that Fidelity, they want it in Umahia, they want it in many parts of the East. Please, what is happening to Ogbomoso branch of Fidelity Bank? This has been a promise to me from Reginald AGI and Okonko the Okonko up to Nneka Onyale Hipe. I believe and I pray that your board at this moment should achieve that aim to give me a befitting branch in Ogbomoso. I am tired of going to Ilorin and I want to do that banking. You know, in Fidelity, we keep our words. And I want to do banking, I have to go to Ilorin. Though it takes me about 30-35 minutes to get there, but the branch in Ogbomoso, if completed, will take me like 5 minutes or less than 10 minutes to get there. And I want you to see what we can do. Be a little bit more closer to your shareholders, especially the chieftain of the shareholder, so that it won't be once in a while we discuss. I want you to give us somebody in the company secretariat, apart from the company secretary herself, that we can always relate to, like investors relation officer, that any message you have for Ezinwa, who's the CS, very hardworking woman, she will get all the messages through somebody deputizing or working as investors relation officer of Fidelity Bank. I want to tell you that your right issue, by the grace of God, will give you support. I will make myself available. If you have any road show in the Southwest, I will be there for you because I know you always keep your words. But that money is important. So that 500 billion they ask you to look for, we will get it for you. Just because we have confidence on the board, we have confidence on the management of the bank, and we know that by the grace of God, you never disappoint us. I want to thank you for giving an opportunity, and I want to tell you again, your corporate social responsibility should also be extended to Ogbomoso the way you do in the last 2 years in Lautech. When we have a foundation you can be of assistance to, don't forget, foundation make it easier for you to reach the people. Your CSR is important, and people will always appreciate you. They will always like you to assist them. Please don't rely on your effort on your CSR, especially for foundation. Please, I am telling you this because I know our meeting is once in a year, and this is the time we have to really appraise everything you've done in a year. We appreciate you as our trustee. We trust you, you will do better, and you always improve on the management and staff. Please, thank you again for giving me an opportunity. I'm very happy to be part of you. Today, there is rain in many parts of the Southwest, so the network will be bad. I want to thank you for giving me an opportunity. Thank you, my chairman. And before I end my discussion, the virtual meeting afforded me an opportunity to be at your meeting. I wouldn't have been able to come to Lagos. From here to Ibadan, the road is so bad. It's convenient for me to go to Ilorin 3 times in a day, underline that one, than going to Ibadan once in a month. Sometimes I have to.
Wow. Can you switch off your video for a second? Go ahead, sir.
Hello, Mr. Chairman.
We can hear you. Please go ahead. There are ways to get there. We intend to keep our international license, and when we have the plan well sorted out, we will approach you again through an EGM or an AGM next year. But we will keep it, and we are looking at the best way for Fidelity to maintain its international status. I think that's... Yes. Yes, we're going to raise about 120 with this one we're doing now. And so the distance between the 500 and where we'll be after the 120 is not that formidable. but we need to approach it objectively in the best way, and then at that point, we'll come back to you. So any other questions or comments, please send them into Ezinwa. We'll respond to them as you send them in, and this is an ongoing engagement. AGM is AGM, but we believe that we're accessible and open to you all year round. If I may continue. Having laid before you the audited financial statements and the report of the directors, Mr. Chivoke, you say it's not late. Is it, what did he say, present? He said it's not late. We're not late, they're receiving. Having laid before you, or having presented for your receipt, the audited financial statements and reports of the directors, external auditors, audit committee, and independent board appraiser consultants for the financial year ended December 31, 2023, in accordance with the section 377 of the CAMA 2020, we will now proceed to vote on the agenda on this agenda item and other items for which your vote is required. In accordance with provisions of section 248(1)(a) of CAMA 2020, I, as the chairman of the meeting, hereby call for a poll in respect of all the items on the agenda, except item 6 on disclosure of the remuneration paid to the managers of the company, for which no voting is required, and item 7 on election to the statutory audit committee, for which will be by the show of hands. Given that the agenda items for which your vote is required are ordinary resolutions, please note that a simple majority of votes, i.e. 51% of the votes cast by members present in person and by proxy, will be required to pass each resolution. I am informed that some shareholders had earlier submitted proxy forms to the registrars indicating her screen.
Good morning, esteemed shareholders. Good morning, esteemed shareholders. Kindly watch and listen attentively to the instructions for voting on the resolutions to be considered at the general meeting. Please note that voting will be conducted via a USSD platform. Please dial the USSD code that will be displayed on the screen to access the voting platform, and follow the prompts on your phone if you wish to vote on any resolution. The voting platform will remain open for 120 seconds for each resolution. Please cast your vote once the poll opens. If you encounter network connectivity... Good morning, esteemed shareholders. Kindly watch and listen attentively to the instructions for voting on the resolutions to be considered at the general meeting. Please note that voting will be conducted via a USSD platform. Please dial the USSD code that will be displayed on the screen to access the voting platform, and follow the prompts on your phone if you wish to vote on any resolution. The voting platform. 4. Press 1 to indicate voting with all units.
Before the members, pursuant to Section 377 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020. Will a shareholder please second resolution? Will Chief Okelana please second the motion? Chief Okelana. By raising your hand.
My name is Ola. I second that motion as read by the chairman. Thank you, sir.
I will now put resolution to the meeting by calling on you to vote on the resolution. Please note that you have 120 seconds to cast your vote.
Voting has started.
We'll fast it.
The voting is open already. And we have 92 seconds to go. "75 seconds to go." "50 seconds. "40 seconds. "30 seconds. "10 seconds. Voting close. Mr. Chairman, sir. I know
Yes,
I know
yes.
the poll we received from shareholders, both vote virtually and through proxy, 10,959,976,537 units, which represent 100% of the total vote cast. No dissenting votes. That is all, sir.
I hereby declare the resolution carried. Number 2, to approve a final dividend. The next item on the agenda is approval of the proposed dividend. In this regard, the directors are pleased to recommend a final dividend of 60 kobo per ordinary share for the 2023 financial year for the approval of shareholders. The proposed final dividend of 60 kobo per share, an interim dividend of 25 kobo per share paid on September 22, 2023, brings the total dividend for 2023 to 85 kobo per ordinary share to be paid from retained earnings account as at 31 December 2023. If approved, the proposed final dividend will be paid net of withholding tax at the applicable tax rate. I hereby propose the resolution for shareholders to approve payment of a final dividend of 60 kobo per share for the financial year ended December 31, 2023. Will the shareholder please second the resolution by raising their hands? Mrs. Adetutu Siambola seconds the motion.
"10 seconds remaining. Voting close. Mr. Chairman, sir, I know the poll of the record. "50 seconds remaining. 40 seconds. Thirty seconds. 20 seconds remaining. We have 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. 14 close. Mr. Chairman, sir, I now report to elect Mr. Abolore Solebo as Executive Director. We received vote from 171 shareholders with a total unit of 10,928,597,472 units, represent 99.71% for those who voted virtually and by proxy. While we received 2 who voted against with a unit of 31,379,666 units. That's the result, sir.
Based on those results, I hereby declare the resolution carried. The next item is the election of non-executive directors who are due to retire by rotation at this AGM. In accordance with Section 285 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020 and Article 95(1)(a) of the Articles of Association of the company, the directors due to retire by rotation at this annual general meeting are Mr. Chinedu Okeke and Mrs. Morunke Bameke, and being eligible, they have offered themselves for re-election. I can confirm that a formal evaluation was conducted to assess the performance of the directors due to retire by rotation, and the board recommends their re-election based on their impressive contributions to the growth of the bank. Please be informed that separate resolutions will be proposed for the re-election of each director. I hereby propose resolution for shareholders to approve the re-election of Mr. Chinedu Okeke as a non-executive director. Chief Boniface Okeze, please unmute him. Will second. Please, Chief Boniface, confirm that you're seconding. Did you unmute him? Chief Boniface, please confirm. Okay. You've raised your hand.
Yes, Chairman, are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, I write to second that motion as read by the chairman.
Thank you very much, sir.
As director of a great company.
Thank you very much. Registrars.
Distinguished shareholders, the vote has commenced to re-elect Mr. Chinedu Okeke as non-executive director. As usual, as 8011, as 55, Mr. Pepper and Ash according to vote. It's counting down. $100 million second remaining. 96 seconds. 90 seconds remaining. You have 80 seconds. Seconds remaining. $40 seconds remaining. 15 seconds remaining. Five seconds remaining. Voting close. Mr. Chairman, sir, I know the poll to re-elect Mr. Chinedu Okeke as not executive director will receive voting from 174 shareholders with a total unit of 10,928,596,072 units, represent 99.71% of shareholders voted virtually and by proxy, while we receive only shareholders who voted against with 31 million units of share, 31,308,260 units, representing 0.9%. 3 shareholders, sir. That's the result.
Thank you, Mr. Registrar. I hereby declare the resolution to re-elect Mr. Chinedu Okeke carried. Re-election of Mrs. Moronike Bameke. I hereby propose the resolution for shareholders to approve the re-election of Mrs. Moronike Bameke as an independent non-executive director. Will the shareholder please second this motion by raising your hand? Mr. Alex Adio. Okay.
So do, Mr. Chairman.
Yes,
I
sir.
so do.
Thank you,
Adio A. Alex.
Thank you so much. Registrars.
Single shareholders, once again, press star 8011 to re-elect Mrs. Moronike Bameke as non-executive director. 4 stars, sir. Counting down. Seconds remaining. Voting close. Mr. Chairman, sir, I now the poll to re-elect Mrs. Moronike Bameke as the independent non-executive director. We receive a vote from 178 shareholders with a total unit of 10,959,977,051 units, which represent shareholders who voted virtually and by proxy. This 100% of total vote cast. No dissenting vote, sir.
Thank you very much. I hereby declare the resolution carried. The next is in accordance with Section 4012 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020. The external auditors, Deloitte and Touche, have indicated their willingness to continue in office as the bank's external auditors. The next item is authorize the directors to fix the remuneration of the external auditors. I hereby propose a resolution to shareholders to authorize the directors to fix the remuneration of the external auditors for the 2024 financial year. Will a shareholder please second this resolution? Mrs. Adetutu Sinyambola, could you signify by raising your hands, please, or by voice? Can you unmute her, please? Okay, Mr. Okelana's hand is raised. So, Mr. Okelana will second the motion. Registrars, please.
Single shareholders, please press star 8011 star 55 hash to start voting. The resolution is to authorize director to fix auditor remuneration for the year 2024. Full start. Counting down. 80 seconds remaining. $60 seconds remaining. $40 seconds remaining. $20 seconds remaining. 15 seconds. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. 14 close. Mr. Chairman, sir, I now report to authorize director to fix the auditor remuneration for the year 2024. We received votes from 178 shareholders with the total unit of 10,959,977,247 units, representing 100% of the total vote cast. That's the result, sir.
Thank you very much. I declare that resolution carried. The next item is to disclose the remuneration of the manager of the company. In accordance with Section 238, Sections 238 and 257 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, the ordinary business for annual general meeting should include an item on disclosure of the remuneration of the managers of the company. Premised on the foregoing, shareholders are hereby informed that the remuneration of the managers of the company is disclosed in Note 40 of the annual report and accounts. Please note that no voting is required on this agenda item. We will now proceed to the next item. The next item is the election of the Statutory Audit Committee. Please note that the Statutory Audit Committee has been established in compliance with Section 404, subsections 2 and 3 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020. The committee is made up of 3 representatives of the shareholders and 2 members of the board of directors. In compliance with the provision of Section 4043 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, the board's representatives on the Statutory Audit Committee are Chief Nelson Weke and Mrs. Moronke Bameke. As stipulated in the notice of the meeting, any shareholder may nominate another shareholder for election to the Statutory Audit Committee by giving notice of such nomination to the Company Secretary at least 21 days before the annual general meeting. The CBN's guidelines for commercial, merchant, non-interest, and payment service banks in Nigeria stipulates that members of the Statutory Audit Committee should be knowledgeable in internal control processes, accounting, and financial matters. The audit regulations further provide that the members of the and Mr. and Mrs. Moronke Bameke to constitute the staff. The next item is to approve the remuneration of the directors. In accordance with the provisions of Section 293 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, non-executive directors' remuneration is required to be approved by members of the annual general meeting. I hereby propose a resolution that directors' remuneration for the financial year ending December 21, 2024, and for succeeding years until reviewed by the company at an annual general meeting, be and is hereby fixed at 40 million naira for each non-executive director and 60 million naira for the chairman of the board of directors. Will the shareholder please second the nomination?
My respected chairman,
Mr. Gafar.
My name is Olatunde Okilana Balogun Olugban of Orilegan. I stand to second that motion as read by the chairman. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. Registrars, please.
Distinguished shareholders, the next resolution is to approve director remuneration. Once again, you press *8011 *55#. Again, *8011 *55#. Count down the photos coming. On 9 seconds remaining. $75 remaining. $60 remaining. $50 remaining. $40 remaining. $25 remaining. $15 remaining. Voting close. Mr. Chairman, sir, another the next resolution is to approve director remuneration. We received vote from 178 shareholders with a total unit of 10,959,976,658 for shareholders who voted virtually and by proxy, which represent 100% of total vote cast. While we receive one shareholder against with total unit of 600 units. That is all, sir.
Thank you. I hereby declare resolution carried. Thank you, registrars, for your excellent work. Dear esteemed shareholders, having concluded the business for which this general meeting was convened, I now declare the 36th Annual General Meeting closed, and thank you for your attendance and participation. I would like to request Alhaji Kabiru Tambari to give us the closing prayer. Please unmute Alhaji.
MD, who is always working hard. She works like caterpillar. God Almighty to continue helping her to succeed, also to continue receiving wonderful dividend and capital appreciation to our bank.